so you always know what's going on. SimpliSafe is one of U.S. News and World Report's best home security systems of 2024, and it's half the cost of traditional home security. And my listeners get 20% off any new system at simplysafedirect.com. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 27th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out the medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
We're Paint Care, and we're all about keeping it simple. We make recycling leftover paint easy with convenient locations like your local paint store. We have 3 simple rules for painting smarter and reducing waste. 1. Buy only what you need. 2. Use up what you already have. And 3. Recycle the rest. Visit paintcare.org/3 simple rules to learn more or find a paint drop-off site near you.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password,
for you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated US-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to lifelock.com.
Audible is your prime suspect for thrilling and mysterious audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Get your adrenaline pumping with the latest shocker from James Patterson, The Justice. Fight Big Brother with a full cast, bold new take on Orwell's 1984. Solve a murder in the champagne room with desperate, deadly widows. Suspense, secrets, tension, twists. It's a killer lineup on Audible. Go to audible.com/killer to listen now.
I'm George Campbell. She's Rachel Cruz. This is The Ramsey Show. Give us a call at 888-825-5225. Let's go to the phones. Christina joins us in Phoenix, Arizona. Christina, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Thank you. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Okay, so my question is, my husband and I are looking to buy our first home, and we see a lot of these auction and foreclosure homes, and we were wondering if you recommend buying them, as well as it looks like auction, you might have to have 100% cash, which we do not. But just wondering kind of information on auction and foreclosure, and if you guys recommend one or the other, or kind of the details of it.
Yeah, I mean, they can definitely be great options, and usually for people, if you're doing investment real estate, this is a great option to go down because you just get the best deal on the front end, right? You kind of get built-in equity automatically. But there are some parameters. I'll be honest, Christina, I'm not an expert on this. I wish my husband was here because he does this a lot and knows the ins and outs probably more than I do. But I do know you want to look in and make sure you have title insurance. Like, you want to make sure there's, you know, that the deeds are clean, titles are clean. Like, there's definitely some hoops to jump through to make sure that it's a good deal for you. And like you said, sometimes the the person that bids and wins does have a lot of the cash up front. I know that's an advantage there, but yeah, what do you think, George?
Is it required? Like, it doesn't, it's not always required?
I haven't heard that it's always required. I think you can get it on a conventional, 15-year fixed. What I would look into is doing your due diligence to see exactly what happened here and what the condition of it is. You need to be extra cautious to make sure that you're not buying sort of a lemon where you're going, oh, we thought it was going to be 20 grand to do the improvements. It's going to be 100.
Yeah, because for some people, as they're getting the auction, they'll just say sight unseen or like no inspection required, right? Just to get their up on it, if you will. And I wouldn't want that for you when it comes to your primary home. Yeah. I mean, like, if you had a ton of money and you were like, yeah, if it's bad and we can fix everything with cash, that's one thing. But I wouldn't recommend that unless you just have a ton of cash.
Yeah. And the process can be slower. So here's my advice. I would choose your home based on the home that's right for you that you can afford, and if it happened to be a foreclosure, that's okay. But I wouldn't just seek out auction foreclosures because you're in a tight place financially. I want you to move from a place of strength.
Yeah. Okay. That's great advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Christina.
Yeah, thank you so much for the call.
And yeah, but those that are looking to invest in real estate for a lot of, and I know for Dave even, a lot of what he bought early on, and even with my husband once in helping him with stuff. I mean, it was a lot of going to the courthouse steps and doing real estate auctions just to get a good deal on the front end, because if you have the margin financially to be able, whether it is to go fix it and all of it, it is a great deal. But to your point, as especially your primary home,
and your first home,
you don't want a lot of hiccups, and there's a cleaner way, faster way to do it, to buy a home.
But with a foreclosure, if you can get it at 80% of the appraised value minus the cost of repairs, we generally see that as a good quote deal. And you Dave said you make your money on the deal.
That's right. That's when you get it. Yeah, for
not
sure.
with all your fancy renovations that you go to resell. And so as you even do renovations, if you are investing to resell, you want to think about what's actually going to increase the value when you go to resell. And a lot of times it's cosmetic stuff. It's not the super expensive behind the scenes stuff. They just want a nice looking backsplash.
Yep, that's all they want.
So
but Christina, make sure to check out our real estate ELPs there in the Phoenix area. We have some great ones out there, and they can really help walk with you through that process, because I think having an expert with you through it is tremendous. So make sure to check out one of our real estate ELPs.
It's a good call. RamseySolutions.com is the place to go. All right, David is in Columbus up next. What's happening, David?
Hello. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
I have a question. It's kind of a mixed bag, but I'm somewhat new to the baby steps, and I'm really just trying to figure out how I can make more money. I have a full-time job. I'm single, I'm 37 years old, and I have quite a bit of debt. And the job that I have right now is, I'm very grateful for my job, but I'm looking to try and figure out how I can get into something that makes more money and something that I really love. Right now, I have about $6,000 in debt, and I thought about maybe getting some certifications, but that takes a lot of time and money, and so I'm just trying to figure out how can I transition into a career or try to find something that pays a little bit more. I have my $1,000 emergency fund. I just baby step 1 last month.
Great.
And I'm on baby step 2 now. And I have a side hustle that helps me. That's actually how I got from baby step 1. Most of my debt is like student loans, I have a car loan, I have some medical debt, I have some debt to the IRS. So I just feel like if I didn't have all this debt, I could maybe pursue what I really want to do a little bit easier. But since I do have this debt, I need to kind of keep my full-time job and be able to, keep lacking away at this debt.
Yeah, how much do you make a year?
About $67,000 a year.
Okay, and what do you do?
I work in the public sector. I essentially work with educational grants and administering an educational program.
Okay. What do you want to do? Like, what's the thing that you're like, oh my gosh?
You said if I was out of debt, I could do what I want to do. Do you have that thing in your mind?
That's kind of another problem, is I'm not entirely sure, but I have some ideas that are kind of all over the place. Like, I've thought about becoming an audio engineer. I've also thought about becoming a voice teacher. I've also thought about going into technology of some sort. Right now, my main focus, outside of doing something that I really love, like something with music or the art or technology, is really just trying to make more money.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you found something that was a salaried position that you wanted and it was more income, you could totally make that move during this baby step 2 process. I just wouldn't gamble on something like, I'll just make something up, voice lessons that you're going to have a lot of clients and you're going to have to supplement, and it's not there yet, but you really want to try it. So you're going to actually, to your point, make less at the beginning. All of that, I think that will put you behind on the debt side of paying it off. So I would stick to what you're doing your side hustle, unless another salaried position comes in front of you and it pays more and you feel like, oh yeah, that could be a great step. I'm just curious, how much do you owe in your car?
About $8,000.
Okay, that's great. Well, I'm excited for you, David. You sound like you're, hustling, and I think that's awesome. I would just keep grinding away and at the work side of it. And
Yeah, I would add these side hustles and sort of make it your on-ramp to whatever the next thing is. And so if you can find any opportunity, even if it's, running the audio board at a local church, for example, and you're just volunteering on the weekends, that will give you some great experience that you can go, all right, I got my kind of feet planted here. What else can I be doing? So have you looked into any opportunities to start doing some of this stuff you're dreaming about?
Yeah, I have, actually. It's funny that you say that because just this past Sunday, I went to a church and shadowed their sound crew and learned a little bit about what they do, and I'm looking to do that at my own church soon. And so I'm kind of trying to connect with people and network and see if I can find people who are doing what I'm interested in doing and just learn more and see if that leads to some opportunities.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Very smart.
And we'll help you with that. It sounds like you're living out Ken Coleman's proximity principle of getting around the right people to do the thing you want to do. So we're going to gift you that book as well as Ken's Get Clear assessment. And that's really going to start to sharpen what this next thing looks like. And along with that, his new book coming out, Find the Work You're Wired to Do, has a free assessment in there. So we're going to send you a copy of that because it'll help you actually make use of the results you get from the assessment and hopefully start to narrow down what that thing is. It may be a mix of all of them for now. Audio, voice, technology, they're all very interwoven.
Yeah.
And maybe you have a little studio and you help, young people get their start, whether it's vocals, music, engineering. I think there's some great fields there. And, we've got lots of audio engineers here.
Yes.
It's largely Ben running the board right now. One of the best audio engineers, one of the greatest musicians I know. And James Child. So, they did it, and they're not that great.
And if they can do it, anyone
If they can do it, I'm kidding. They're the smartest people I know, and they can turn off my mic at any time, but they've chosen not to out of kindness and grace. Thank you, guys. More of The Ramsey Show coming up.
To The Ramsey Show for motivation? Want to know what's even more motivating? Attending a Ramsey event. If you're looking for the ultimate motivational experience focused on helping you eliminate money stress, you need to be here for the Total Money Makeover Weekend, May 10th and 11th. When you join us at the Ramsey Event Center in Nashville, you'll spend the weekend learning how to create new, healthy habits that will radically change the way you handle money. You can get out of debt. You can build wealth. You can have the retirement of your dreams. Me and all the Ramsey personalities will be there live in person to guide you, and we're doing live question and answer throughout the weekend so you can get your questions answered. Look, you can keep losing sleep over money stress, or you can choose to say, I've had it. If that's you, use the code 50OFF to get $50 off standard level tickets at RamseySolutions.com/events.
If you like sitting around the porch or dinner table sharing stories with friends, that's what we like to do here at Our American Stories. I'm Lee Habib. We bring to you stories about American love, funny stories about first jobs, this day in history, American dreamers and marriages, and even the stories of music and acting legends. I invite you to sit around the porch with us as we share our American stories. Join me weeknights from 9 to midnight on the Patriot, KEIB AM 1150.
I'm Tom Regani. Former President Trump's New York hush money trial continues. Fox's Nate Boy has details.
The state's first witness, former American media CEO and President David Pecker, testified about his efforts, along with former President Trump's old lawyer Michael Cohen, to suppress damaging stories about Trump leading up to the 2016 presidential election and publishing negative stories about Trump's opponents.
Trump calls the case election interference. So members of the Biden administration are commenting on pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia University and other college campuses this week, and what they say are some anti-Semitic incidents.
White House Deputy Press Secretary MBytes telling reporters what is happening at these anti-Israel protests is wrong. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona saying in a statement, quote, anti-Semitic hate on college campuses is unacceptable. I'm deeply concerned by what is happening at Columbia University.
It's Fox's Hillary Vaughn. America's listening to Fox News.
Gain presents a tale of longing and long-lasting scent. Dear love of my life, you were on the 12-beat bus when I caught a whiff. The scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. The scent of Gain flames. Add Gain scent beads for an even longer lasting scent.
Ready to buy a home? We can help. Star One Credit Union is a leading lender in the Bay Area. We put members first by offering the lowest possible rates, flexible terms, fast approvals, and a quick close. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, investing in a new property, unlocking your home's equity, or looking to refinance, we've got you. Apply today at star1.org. Star One Credit Union, in your best interest.
This summer, dive into the many cools of San Antonio, the city where families keep cool and refreshed all season. Because we have something for everyone, like the #1 zoo in the state. Plus, we're the theme park capital of Texas. Plan today at visitsanantonio.com/summer.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppables in wash scent beads.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need
Now
a
how you supposed to merge,
policy or a
dumbass?
$5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to selectquote.com. Selectquote.com. That's selectquote.com.
Slow down.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Go slow,
dumbass. SelectQuote.com/commercials.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives you access to all. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. iHeartMedia is your access company. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
As a major research institution, Arizona State University offers the most online bachelor's degree programs, along with world-class faculty and dedicated support. Discover why ASU is ranked #1 in innovation for 9 consecutive years. Tap to learn more.
All the good stuff. Yeah. Camps keeps you on top of pop culture.
Marvel fans are wondering what the future has in store.
That was
for
the
Loki,
stop.
and apparently so is the actor who portrays the character. Tom Hiddleston, who embodied the popular Norse anti-hero for 14 years through the Thor film series and several other Marvel Cinematic Universe films, as well as the live-action Disney Plus series, appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live recently and flat out says that he doesn't know what comes next for the character, if anything. He did note about the TV series, quote, "I know that we've reached some sort of narrative conclusion with season 2, which feels very satisfying to me. In fairness, Disney Plus hasn't announced that the Loki series is ending, but there's been no word yet about a 3rd season. And he did have a cameo in last year's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, so it feels like there's more story to tell there." Tom Hiddleston would seem to be willing to jump back in, sharing that playing Loki changed his life completely.
Alright, and that's what's poppin'.
I'm Camps on iHeartRadio.
This is The Ramsey Show. I'm joined by Rachel Cruz. I'm George Campbell. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Alyssa joins us all the way from Alberta, Canada. What's going on in Alberta, Alyssa?
Sorry, what was that?
What's the vibe in Alberta?
Oh, it's actually pretty nice out right now, so all right.
Wonderful. How can we help today?
My husband and I are wondering if you guys think it's okay if we stop investing for 2.5 years in order to pay off our mortgage.
Whoa, why the aggression?
Because we want to be mortgage free before we have kids, so that I don't have to work if I don't want to.
Aha. Okay, how old are you two?
23 and 25.
And what's left on the mortgage?
$167,000.
All right. What's the household income?
Gross annual income's about $150,000.
And that's with you working. So your goal is, hey,
Yes.
we don't. You're not pregnant, but once we start to go down that path, you want to be able to stop working.
That's right.
Okay. And you would not be able to do that today with the finances.
No, I don't think so. We would have to be cutting it pretty tight.
Okay. Well, I don't love the idea of you guys pausing investing and unplugging that growth and those contributions, because you look 30 years from now as to what those will turn into, and you'll go, oh gosh, that hurt my stomach a little bit. Because you guys have no debt in the emergency fund already, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, gosh, Alyssa, I'm actually kind of leaning, because you guys are so young, and you want to have this lifestyle change of staying home. I may be okay I would make it a goal to say maybe we do it for a year. Maybe we pause investing for a year, and what would it look like? Because the truth is too, you know, by the time you get pregnant, it's 9 months. Like, you'll have maternity leave, like, right? I mean, like, there's some, what's your maternity leave situation with your work?
12 or 18 months, I get to choose.
Oh, wow. Paid?
Yeah.
Paid. Okay, well, there's...
Like, not full salary, but a portion of it, yes.
Okay, well, I would factor that in to this scenario as well.
Because if you're doing 15% of your household income, that's $22,000 that you would not invest but throw at the house. So either way, it's not going to knock out the mortgage, you know, years sooner by pausing the investing. So I'm just curious what's stopping you. Let's say you guys wanted to have kids now. Could you do that, take your maternity leave, and then see where the mortgage is at that point?
Yes, it just wouldn't get paid off for another like 5 to 7 years from my calculations, because I was using a Excel spreadsheet and put in all of the potential lump sum payments that we would be able to do over the next 2.5 years, and that brought it to the payoff date to September 2026. But yeah, it would be quite a bit farther.
I don't know why it would take 7 years just by.
That doesn't make sense.
And I don't want you to not invest for 2 years straight. And so if this was like on the cusp of this, just a few months of not investing would get there. But right now we're sort of talking in theoreticals and hypotheticals. And so I would keep on the path you guys are at. I would aggressively attack the mortgage. I would get that budget down, and also make a mock budget and see what life would be like living off of just his income.
Yeah, how much is your mortgage payment a month?
About $18-20.
Okay. Yeah.
And what's his take-home pay?
Together, our take-home pay is $110. I'm not sure. His gross annual income's about $90.
Okay. I'm just wondering if we can get him to take home about $7,000, about $7,500. That would put your mortgage right at about 25% and still give you margin to throw extra at it.
Yeah, it just all depends on how busy his work is, really, because he has months where there's not enough for him to make that much.
Can he find another job to do when it's slow times?
Possibly, but he would have to be able to go into work whenever his boss needed him. Like, he's an electrician, so it's just, if they have projects on the go, then it's crunch time, and if not, then, he might be able to get a second job, but then he would have to, this job would have to be a priority.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of leaning, listen, I would make it a goal for just a year, but I would be okay because of your age, because you guys are such planners. You know what you want. You don't want to be working when you have a baby. Like there are these life big things, and if you have to pause for a year for investing in order to make these things happen, I would be okay with it. I would. But I also